All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday, June 11th. We got a decent amount of MLB games to jump into today. We're going to go through each and every game like we always do. I'm going to talk about the game, give you my thoughts. I'll give you my lean and leans on the games, but all my final plays, those will be in the pinned comment, and I update that throughout the day. So make sure to keep an eye on that pinned comment. There's a few early games today, so we might have some early pinned comment plays, but again, keep an eye on it. I always have those plays in by game time. When we're looking at how we ended up last night, another good night for us. Here we go, 3-1. We did have a push in there, but we hit Dodgers money line, that cashes. We hit the Guardians and the Astros under 7.5, or over 7.5, excuse me, that cashes. And then we hit Thairo Estrada over 0.5 strikeouts. Got a lot of hate on TikTok over there for that pick, but you know what? Take that. Our only loss today was the Angels money line. It was luckily only half a unit that we threw down on that too, so another good sign there. And then the Nationals Braves, that was so damn close. They pushed, they finished at 10 runs, but would have been nice if we had a 4-1 night with the only one loss being a half unit play, but nonetheless, we'll take the winning positive night from last night. I'm going to do the exact same thing here today. Actually, no, we're going to sweep tonight. Hopefully. But before we do that, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like this video as well. You guys have absolutely been crushing it as of late, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the subscribes, the likes, the comments, everything like that. It has meant the world, and the ride of the day has been taking off as well. This one's coming in from my man Reed, who also was the jersey winner of our Instagram giveaway, if you guys remember that from a couple weeks ago. So shout out to him. He had Ty France over 1.5 bases here, and we got to celebrate it. Finishes with 2 bases. Shout out to Reed for the hashtag ride of the day, guys. If you do want to be the ride of the day, all you got to use is hashtag ride of the day in the comments, and I'll be jumping on board with one person's pick. It's got to be a banger. It's got to be a lock, and I'll be giving a shout out, win or loss, to that person in the next video, just like we did with Reed right there, guys. And also, before we jump into the games, I do want to say this tee is live on the store. Obviously, we have the Fade Me brand. This is one of my favorite tees so far. The quality is like this. It's like soft but thick, but not too heavy. I don't know how to explain it. Go check it out for yourself. You can use code FADE at checkout for 10% off. We have a link to the Guy Boston Sports store in the description, or you can just go to guybostonsports.com/store. Use promo code FADE and pick up these. We just restocked them again. But let's go ahead and get into game number 1 here. We're looking at Detroit taking on Arizona. Yesterday's game, Arizona wins 5-0. They won game 1 11-6. They've been cruising as of late. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. They've won 4 straight. Now, I've said it before, they haven't had the hardest of schedule during this sort of win streak, but nonetheless, they are winning. And Zach Gallen is on the mound for the Diamondbacks today, who is definitely a pitcher that you can back. 7-2 with a 2.75 ERA, going up against Joey Wentz, 1-6 with a 7.49 ERA. I will say the juice is way too much to be putting this into some sort of an individual bet. Arizona is minus 225 right now, but I could see them being some sort of a parlay piece. So we might throw around, kick around the idea of like a Sunday parlay today. Keep an eye on the pinned comment. No promises there, but I do think that this is a decent spot for Arizona just to get another win. Detroit's not playing good baseball. Arizona's a clear-cut better team, but even them on the run line, minus 1.5 is minus 130. A lot of juice to be paying to ask for a 2-run win. So I think they're only a parlay piece today. And then in terms of the total, we're looking at 8.5 runs. So Detroit's offense, actually, surprisingly, you could make an argument that has had some decent games in the last 10, but it has been super inconsistent. So I don't want to guarantee or bank on them for runs, right? But this Arizona offense has actually been there. They're doing their damn part when it comes to an 8.5 total. So I hate to bank on Detroit, but if Detroit can maybe squeeze out like 3 runs, and if we're lucky, 4, I think this one actually go over. I don't know if they can, so I doubt this becomes a final play, but I don't really want to consider the under with the way that Arizona has been scoring as of late. They can almost kill your under just themselves. So I'm probably going to lean towards the over, but again, it's Arizona money line, only in some sort of a parlay piece, and then a slight lean towards the over. All right, Houston bounces back from a game 1 loss in this series into a 6-4 win yesterday. Cleveland favored in this game, minus 140. Shane Bieber's on the mound, 4-3 with a 3.57 ERA. We have Bailick on the mound for the Astros. I know I've had some harsh words about him in the past, but he's won 2 straight games and actually pitched decently, and at plus 120 odds, I think that's where like the value line is for Houston. So I'm going to lean towards Houston here. Looking good yesterday, scoring 6 runs, and then plus 120 just seems like it's way too much value. If you're on the Cleveland side of things at minus 140, go for it. I'm not trying to talk you off that ledge. Cleveland has still won 5 of their last 6 games. They've won 6 of their last 10. They're playing good baseball, but I do think that, just considering where this Houston line is, or the odds are, there's a lot of value in a team that can obviously compete with this Guardians team, no kidding, at plus 120. Houston, I think they have, I don't even have the records up in front of me, but a way better record than the Guardians. Like, in theory, this Houston team should be a better team. They're not playing as good. They kind of went into a little bit of a rut here, which is why Cleveland at home has been favored, I would imagine. But yeah, plus 120 on the Houston side of things is going to be my lean. We're looking at a total of 8.5 runs. I have no problem with the over here. I think that this is a good spot for that. I think that a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, Bieber on the mound, and even Bailey's been pitching well. This is an under spot, especially when these two teams have been scoring a lot of runs. But this Guardians team, their offense has kicked it into gear in the last few games or so. And the Astros obviously have a lot of bats in that lineup that can score runs here. So I like the over 8.5 as well. But I am keeping my eye on that Houston plus 120 over on FanDuel right now. All right, Braves, Washington. We can kind of speed through this one. This is an obvious potential Braves moneyline parlay piece for me. They have won 7 straight games. They've won 8 of their last 9 games, and Washington just doesn't seem to be interested in baseball right now, or this Braves team is just really good, which this Braves team, when they get hot, they are hot. Bryce Elder's on the mound 4-0 with a 2.26 ERA. Trevor Williams on the mound for the Nationals, 2-4 with a 4.15 ERA. We'll back the home team. We'll back the better team. We'll back the better pitcher, and we'll back the better offense here. I will tell you, I think minus 1.5 could be a play here on the run line, but it's minus 140 odds. I don't love that much at all. I told you yesterday, I think that this is a good run line team in the Braves, and they came through yesterday. We didn't make it final play, but nonetheless, it was one of our leans, so I kind of wish we pulled the trigger on that. We did not, but if you do want to, make this a singles play, it's probably going to be run line. I don't love the minus 140 odds on it, so the Braves really probably going to be a throw-in parlay piece, if anything, to me today. Then in terms of a total 9.5 runs, I'm actually going to take a peek at the under here. These games, both of them kind of have gone different directions. One yesterday, which we had the under in, finished at 10 runs. It was a push. And then we had Washington and the Braves, the first game, 3-2. Little interesting there. I do think we have 2 good pitchers on the mound. I shouldn't say 2 good. At least one really good pitcher, Bryce Elder. And then Trevor Williams, okay, we'll say that he's a decent pitcher for the sake of argument here. A couple games ago, he had a good start. Then he follows it up with a bad start in his most recent start. But he's been up and down, okay? So I do think you have 2 pitchers that can get the job done. And this game finishes under 9.5 runs, doesn't get up into double digits. All right, Pirates taking on the Mets, and honestly, what a weird series thus far. Game 1, Pirates win 14-7. Game 2, the Mets win 5-1. Now Pirates are pretty heavily favored at minus 130 at home on the money line here. On the mound for the Pirates today is Mitch Keller, 7-2 with a 3.6 ERA. Carlos Carrasco on the mound for the Mets, 2-2 with a 5.94 ERA. I want the Mets to win this game. I almost think they are going to win this game, but Mitch Keller has kind of proven himself time in and time out, and time again, whatever the saying I'm looking for here is, this season. Now, he's had 2 bad starts in a row. They still got the win. I forget who they played 2 games ago, but he had pitched 6 innings pitched and then blew up, and ended up letting 4 runs in, but he had 8 Ks. And then he gets the loss against Oakland. That's 2 bad pitching outings in a row. I think he might even had a third in there, maybe 3 of the last 4, but he's still proved, he's always bounced back. So I've said from the beginning, I don't think he's real. I think this Pirates team is kind of fake. They have one of the easiest schedules so far this year, all that, yada, yada, yada. And yet they continue to kind of win games and play above 500 baseball. So I'm probably going to end up trusting my gut later on in the year, but I'm going to follow the Padres in this game, or the Pirates in this game. I do think that Mitch Keller against Carrasco is a win for the Pirates. So I don't know if it becomes a final play, but I lean towards the Pirates. I hate kind of backing a team that I truly in my gut believe is fake and all facade, but again, they keep proving me wrong. Mitch Keller, yes, he has those bad starts, but he keeps proving me wrong because I don't think that he's really good either, but something keeps working out for these guys, so I'm going to lean towards them again today. I don't know if it becomes a final play, though. And in terms of the total, 8.5 runs, I like the under here. We've had, the Pirates go out there and score 14 points. They followed up with 1. The Mets go and score 7. They have 5 the next game. They're kind of trending downwards there. I do think that this is kind of a letdown spot in terms of, both these offenses are feeling way different types of things. Pirates go out there, score 14, then they score 1. It's like, what the hell's going on here? They're probably confused. What the heck's going on, right? Then you have the Mets where it's like, oh, we're kind of consistent right now. Nah, you're just going through a hot streak here. I like the under. All right, Philly taking on the Dodgers. We do have opening lines. We don't have lines that are updated as of right now. So as of right now, I don't have a total for you, but I'm assuming it's going to be right around 10. Right now, Dodgers minus 125 on the money line, and Philadelphia plus 105 at home on the money line. Yesterday's total was 8.5, but now we have two pitchers that are a little bit. I'm going to guess that this total is going to be right around 10 or 9.5. Okay, for the sake of being able to give out a lean here, I'm going to lean towards the under in this game. Then I'm also going to take a peek at the Dodgers. They came through for us yesterday. I think that they're looking to get back on the winning track. This Phillies team, yes, they went on that win streak, and I gave them credit for it. They deserve the credit for it, but I still don't think that it's all that much to like write home about. You took 2 against Washington, and then you took 3 against Detroit, and then the first game against LA, you win. Good. LA's back here now. Urias on the mound for them. I hope he gets the job done here. I lean the Dodgers as well as Phillies. Keep an eye on the pin comment to see if we have any odds changes here. I'd love to see that Dodgers line kind of come back down to, the minus 110, minus 110, minus 108 that we got yesterday. That'd be really, really cool. But then again, I like the under as well. But we'll get those final lines out there. So keep an eye on the pin comment for any final plays. All right, guys, if you have not checked out Jock Market, you really are missing out. I know a lot of people out there are playing on Prize Picks because it is sort of the big name in that DFS industry. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, they're essentially player prop sites where you can put 2 or more player props together and you get paid out accordingly based on how many you get right. Well, Jock Market has become my go-to and favorite app in the industry there. You see me all over TikTok talking about it, all over the reels, because they really do have the biggest value. If you like to watch a lot of content about sports betting or player props, and you see a content creator say, hey, I like player X, Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases today, and then you go on Prize Picks and all of a sudden it's at a line of 2, or Aaron Judge has been removed from that book, right? Well, Jock Market is very slow to do so you can always capitalize on that value, and their line discrepancy compared to sports books is kind of crazy. So they'll have a guy that his total bases line is set at 1. Sports books have him at 1.5 for negative odds here. So it's almost like, wow, that is absolute value to take advantage of. I use Jock Market all the time. The proof's in the pudding. I've shown you guys tons of videos over in short form platforms like Reels here on YouTube Shorts as well as TikTok, so you know that I use it. But seriously, if you are one of those players over on Prize Picks and you like Prize Picks because it is sort of the easy one to go to and it's the most common app out there, check out Jock Market. You will not regret it. You can use the link in the description. I'll put it in the pinned comment as well. You get 100% of your first deposit matched. That is a no-brainer, guys. Check out Jock Market. One cool thing really quick that they also have, they have like the Prize Picks version, right? But they also have a sports player stock market where you can buy and sell shares of players during the year or during games and all that stuff. It actually is a really cool feature. So I highly encourage you guys to check out Jock Market today. Use that link in the description or the pinned comment. Again, I use it myself, so why wouldn't you guys use it? You know what I mean? Let's get back to it here. We got Baltimore taking on the Orioles here. The Royals are trotting out on the mound. Carlos Hernandez is 0-2 with a 4.31 ERA. Kyle Gibson on the mound, 7-3 with a 3.86 ERA. Baltimore, heavy favorites in this one. No kidding, right? Makes sense. I'm going to consider 2 things. And I don't really love this spot altogether, but I do want you guys to hear me out. Baltimore's either going to win this game by, a million runs, or, they're not going to win this game at all. That's what I truly believe. Now, they won game 1 3-2. Okay, fine. You're wrong there, Ev. Look at game 2 yesterday. It was way more indicating of how the series is and should be going. They won 6-1. So I have 2 leans here. They're either going to win, cover that run line for plus 110 odds, minus 1.5. But if you don't think Baltimore's going to win by 2 runs, then I'm looking at Kansas City on the money line for plus 160 odds. Yes. It's crazy. It might be dumb. It's idiotic, psycho type play. But I do think that this could be a value spot. It's like this Baltimore team. Yes, they're better than Kansas City, but are they going to take 3 in a row against Kansas City? This Kansas City team has actually surprised a couple teams as of late, right? Getting 1 or 2 wins out of a series, Colorado, St. Louis, those types of games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take it here. Do I trust it? Not altogether. That's why I said I don't really love this spot, but I think could see that being the only 2 types of outcomes here. Kansas City wins or Baltimore wins by 1 million. So take that for what it's worth. In terms of the total 9 runs here, I also like the over. I think that these 2 teams, or I guess it kind of just tracks with what I'm saying. If Kansas City is going to compete in this game, I could see this one going over. Kyle Gibson on the mound obviously is kind of the only threat here, but he hasn't looked good in 2 straight starts, so I do like this spot for the over. All right, Toronto taking on Minnesota. I have had and still do have some trouble kind of deciding on this game. Minnesota has gotten both wins to start this series. They went 3-2, then 9-4. Toronto, I do think is the better team, and they have Kevin Gausman on the mound today. He's 5-3 with a 2.63 ERA. So I want to be like, oh, they're going to bounce back and win, but minus 200 plus odds here is just a little bit too much. So maybe I consider Toronto on the run line. I do think it's a Toronto spot, but altogether it's like, I don't know what to do here. Like I don't want to pay those odds. I think Toronto should be somehow, the team that bounces back and wins today, but those odds are kind of crazy. So it is a little tough here. I do think that this could be a run line spot for Toronto, minus, even odds right now. In terms of a total, looking at 8 runs in this one, slight lean towards the under. Gausman on the mound, Louis Varland on the mound, 2 pitchers that have looked decent. I know Louis Varland, what did he have? His last start was terrible, or his second to last start was terrible. One of his last 2 starts was actually like pathetic, but it was against the Rays, a very good team. Kevin Gausman, obviously very consistent here. So yeah, I lean towards the under 8. It's a low number. I do think that this is a spot where Toronto bounces back. I just wish the odds were, pull the triggerable, because they certainly aren't right now. I wish we pulled the trigger on this one yesterday. I wanted to back Eovaldi so bad. Go watch the tapes. I did not make it a final play. They get the win 8-4 in this one. On the mound now for Tampa Bay is Shane McClanahan, 9-1 with a 2.02 ERA. I'm looking at the Rangers. Martin Perez, 6-1 with a 3.97 ERA. 2 good pitchers on the mound. Perez is coming off a 7 innings pitched, a 0 earned run night with a .57 whip and 5 Ks. McClanahan, obviously just a beast in and of himself. Little bit, you're curious as to see where you guys stand in this game. Let me know in the comments, but I might be crazy. I'm leaning towards Texas only because of the value. Plus 160 on a team that definitely can beat this Rays team and has an offense that can get to any pitcher, even though McClanahan is such a weapon. But this may be one that I just enjoy as a fan. Don't make a final play, because this Tampa Bay team is obviously legit. You know what I mean? Before losing yesterday, they had won 7 games in a row. They'd won 8 of their last 7, and against decent competition. Like, I can't take that away. So I do think pitching is going to be a factor here, but at some point, you got to look at offenses and say, well, these 2 offenses are just better than whatever pitchers they're going to face, right? So I'm going to lean towards the over as well. It's kind of like a fade myself type moment here, because these are 2 good pitchers. Why aren't we taking the under? Just because I think these offenses, when they get hot, they're absolutely hot. And I think this series continues. Whoever gets out to the races wins the game. So, yeah, I hope it's Texas, because plus 160 is plus 160. The Rays could easily win this game, no kidding, but they're minus 180 here on the money line, so a little bit out of our juice jurisdiction. I like that. Maybe that's a t-shirt. But yeah, nonetheless, guys, the value is in Texas here. I just hope that, McClanahan doesn't go out there and just absolutely deal, because 1, that would hurt our Texas play, and then also, if he goes out there and shuts up this good Texas offense, the under's dead, or the over is dead as well. All right, Chicago versus Miami. I've said this series is going to go back and forth, but I've picked the wrong team each time. So my lean would have been the Miami Marlins in this one. So I'm just going to fast forward and look at the White Sox here. On the mound for them today is Luis Gelato, frozen yogurt gelato, and Braxton Garrett's on the mound for the Marlins. I don't really like this, but I think this has been too much of a inconsistent series to kind of like delve into and sink your teeth into, and that's just me being completely honest. So yeah, I lean towards the White Sox in this one. And then in terms of the total 8.5, I do like the under here. I don't think that either one of these teams, their offenses have gone absolutely off as of late. They both are trending in that under direction. All right, next up, we got Milwaukee taking on the Athletics. I told you, this Athletics team is just absolutely throwing me through for a loop. I'm puzzled by them. They've now won 4 straight games. They've taken 2 against Milwaukee. They won the last 2 against Pittsburgh. I don't know if there's something in the water in their clubhouse or what the water they're drinking, but they're playing good baseball. Do I think it continues here? I don't think so, but I also don't want to pay minus 210 for the Brewers. So the only play I think I'm going to have on this game, and I'll show you exactly why using the Outlier app here, is going to be taking a look at the over. You can see right here, and this is what I love to identify. Now, 77% of the bets right now, so the quantity of bets, are going to be on the under. And that's probably because everyone's like, these offenses, 1, have not been looking good, and 2, the Oakland A's are in this game, right? But then you look at where the money is, and this is all the big money that's coming in. So the sharps out there, the guy that's putting, 10K on a game versus the guy that's putting $10 on a game, 91% of money is going on the over right now. And this is one of the tools that I love about out the Outlier app, guys. You guys know I've been preaching that. I have a link for that in the description as well. 7-day free trial. Your only risk of signing up for that trial is that you're going to love it and then want to pay $20 a month after that. So if you don't want that, don't go sign up, but that means you're missing out on the good life there. Go check out Outlier, guys. Link in the description as well as the pinned comment. But yeah, this is really what I'm looking at here in terms of what's kind of sparking the idea of this over, just because, you know, you do have two pitchers on the mound that, like, why are we afraid of anyone? Freddie Peralta, yes, good pitcher, one of the best that they have, hasn't looked all that great. And then JP Sears can blow up at any given moment too. So, you know, a lot of people are probably looking at these offenses saying, okay, it's going under. People with the money, people that, you know, probably are spending more time than the average Joe on these games looking at the over. So I'm going to lean towards the over. Do I love this spot? No, it's a Brewers-Oakland game where Oakland's like the most puzzling team in the league right now. So I don't love it, but I'm trusting what I see in terms of the bet and money percentage. Another series that has just been confusing. St. Louis, taking on the Reds. Wainwright on the mound for the Cardinals, and then Hunter Green on the mound for the Reds. In terms of Wainwright, he's got a 2-1 record with a 5.97 ERA, and then Hunter Green, last couple starts here, actually has looked pretty good. He got a no decision against Boston on June 1st, May 26th, his second to last start. He had 11 Ks through 6 innings, a .33 whip with 0 earned runs, and the win against the Cubs in a 9-0 victory. So I think that they're playing good baseball. Hunter Green probably is feeling himself. Hell, I'm going to lean towards the Reds here. I think that may be the public play because the St. Louis team has been absolutely up and down as of late. But my only concern would be that, okay, you have two teams that are super inconsistent. This is the type of game where literally anything can happen. But that kind of, I guess, you know, looking at the Reds as underdogs getting plus money kind of helps that. I don't think that I would ever lean towards St. Louis in an anything can happen game as favorites, because I don't think they even deserve to be, you know, minus 120 favorites in this one, to be completely honest. Looking at the total of 8 runs here, we've seen 2 games so far in this series go over. These two teams, being what they are, they're due for an under. So I'm going to lean towards the under as well. And again, I'm kind of banking on Hunter Green dealing today. So that sounds crazy. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. But I am banking on Hunter Green dealing today. So we're going to look at the under 8. All right, Colorado taking on the Padres. Padres have won 3 straight games. I don't really love this spot at all. I kind of passed over this game, to be completely honest. Padres on the road here. Yes, they've won both games here. Yesterday's a little bit closer, though, but they're minus 180. I don't love that. And obviously, you see the Rockies at plus 158. You're like, okay, well, there's some value there, right? I don't really love that either. So, unfortunately, I don't have much to go on this game. Yesterday's game, 3-2, yet another sort of under for these, you know, the altitude truthers out there. So, I lean towards the under yet again. In terms of who's pitching today, not that it really matters. Lamet for the Rockies, and then Blake Snell for the Padres. I don't think that either one of these picks are going to make it to the final place. Apologies if you're looking for some sort of pick or advice or validation on this game, but not coming from here. I don't really like the spot. We are 22 minutes into the video. It'd be a real shame if everyone that's still watching comments 22 in the comments. This thing cracks me up, guys. Obviously, you see it too, but when I'm asking you guys to comment a number and then we get like tens of comments being like, why the hell is everyone saying 22? And then people start throwing out random numbers, and I'm like, wow, you definitely don't get it. You're late to the party here. It's something I look at, I refresh in the comments, and I'm like, wow, that is awesome. But guys, yeah, go ahead and comment 22 if you are still watching, and make sure you subscribe. We got a comment yesterday. Shout out to you, my man, being like, wow, I thought I was subscribed. I wasn't. You said subscribe. I checked, and then I subscribed. It's like, wow, okay. I guess I do need to say subscribe because I always forget to do that type of thing later on in the video. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, and if you do want to support the channel even further, considering becoming a baller, which is the channel member, $2.99 a month, you do get some perks. You get discount to the merch. You get models for both the NBA and the MLB. We have models coming out for the the NFL as well when that season kicks up. What it is, you're going to get a money line, a run line, and a total model you can incorporate in your research. It really is a cool model. We're profitable on the season with it. You guys know I love using models and whatnot to kind of back my betting. We also have for the NBA a 7-part build your own model series that you can use for your reference and kind of adapt that to the MLB as well. So again, that's all for $2.99 a month. You get that every single weekday. But I will say this, and it probably hurts sales, but I don't want you guys to do it just for that or just for the discount. If you want to support the channel, that's why you become a baller or a channel member. You know what I mean? So I want you guys to be authentic with it, just like I am authentic in creating these videos for you guys. I just want to peel back the curtain, and it's not like a transactional $2.99 a month. Now I get the model. That's an absolute perk, but it is a perk. I still want you guys to, if you are going to take money out of your own pocket and help me, I want you guys to do it out of support, not because you feel like you're getting something for it. Again, that probably hurts sales, but nonetheless, guys, enough of that rant. Let's get back to this. But yeah, become a baller, guys. Link in the description, in the pinned comment. There's also a join button next to the subscribe button if you want to check it out. But we got the Cubs taking on the Giants here. On the mound for the Giants is John Brebbia, 2-0 with a 3.37 ERA. Hayden Wesnecki on the mound for the Cubs. Cubs coming off of, hey, don't look now, 2 wins in a row here. Underdogs yesterday. Obviously, we hit them even money a couple games back. In terms of today, I think that this is a San Francisco spot, though. The Cubs, as much as I've loved betting them this year, and they've been sort of my vice this year, I do think that this is a spot in which, you know what, they're not going to take 3 against San Francisco. So I'm going to lean towards San Francisco. At minus 140 odds is a decent amount of juice over on DraftKings right now, but nonetheless, it does not scare me. And then in terms of the total, I kid you not, I'm split right down the middle in this game. I want to lean towards the over, right? But we've seen 2 games so far in the series go under. So taking the recent history and kind of weighing it against what I kind of want to roll with here puts me right in the middle there. But I guess if I had a gun to my head, which, again, I don't, I think we're going to lean towards the over ever so slightly. All right, Angels taking on the Mariners here. Liked what I saw out of Seattle last night. Obviously, we had the Angels. Half-unit play. I'm not going to cry about it. That was our only loss of the night when we had the Angels. But we got Logan Gilbert on the mound for the Mariners. I don't mind backing him. Griffin Canning on the mound for the Angels. I'm going to look at Seattle here. Minus 108 odds. They showed them they could do it. And then in terms of the total, a lot of people are going to be on the under today, I think, just based on what we've seen. Definitely last night, Game 5 was also, or Game 5, geez. Game 2 was or Game 1. I think we got to close up shop pretty soon. I'm losing steam. Game 1 was a 5-4 game here. Yesterday was an under, but I think this game actually goes over. I think both these teams, the offenses are starting to like get going. Obviously, Angels only scored 2 runs yesterday, but nonetheless, plenty of hits in that game. So I'm going to lean towards the over here ever so slightly. I think this is going to be a spot where a lot of people are going to be on the under, so I'm kind of fading the public here. And then for the Yankees-Red Sox game, surprise, guys, I got a little bit of an announcement. I kind of wanted to slow roll this one in there, but we're actually going to be doing a separate video for this game. It's probably going to be coming out in a couple hours here, but yeah, we'll go through this game. I'm going to give you, obviously, my lean on the total, and I'll give you my lean on the side, but we're also going to throw a player prop into the mix, too. So yeah, this is kind of a test and trial run of doing a specific Sunday night baseball video. I asked you guys if you wanted me to do that via the community tab on our YouTube channel, and a lot of people are like, hell yeah, if it's not too much work, it's more content, more video for you guys, and you like the idea of being able to deep dive into one game. So yeah, first Sunday night baseball video is going to be coming out today. I wanted to do it yesterday, but then I was like, I didn't really announce it yet, so it'd be kind of weird. So yeah, if you're still watching at this point, thank you for the long viewer retention here. But yeah, we have a video coming out for the Red Sox Yankees for this Sunday night baseball game. So hopefully you guys do get excited for that. I'm excited about it, see how it does. Even if it gets 10 views, you know, it's kind of a cool concept to be able to break out a separate video for a separate game. So yeah, guys, keep an eye on that. But that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Make sure to check out that Sunday night video. And yeah, we got our basketball and MLB coming out tomorrow as well. A lot of videos and a lot of content coming out on the channel. So thank you guys so much for your support. It really does mean the world. But I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.